Okay, we're going to look through a few of these questions from the homework. Question 2 says the diagram shows a trapezium. It says AD is equal to x centimeters, BC is the same length as AD, and AB is twice the length of AD. DC is 4 centimeters longer than AB. Okay, right. We've a lot going on here. Let's just label something to get started. So first thing I'm going to label this thing as x. That was AD. BC is the same length as AD, so where's BC? BC is over here. It's also going to be x. AB is twice the length of AD, so twice the length of AD would be 2x, so 2x, and DC is 4 centimeters longer than AB. So if AB, where is it? It's here, it's 2x, so that means DC is going to be 2x plus 4. So you've got all 4 lengths of the perimeter of the shape of this trapezium. So what we can just do is add them all up, because you're told that P, I'm going to say P, which is a perimeter, is equal to 38. So 38 is then equal to, so that's the perimeter, it's equal to x, which is this first side, and then plus the 2x, which is this next side, plus another x over here, so that's going to be another x, and then your last side is 2x plus 4. So that's all 4 sides of your trapezium. Here we have the first side, the second side, the third side, and the fourth side. So it's ugly. If something's ugly, we can tidy it up and make it, if something's a mess, we can tidy it up and make it a wee bit prettier. So we've got x plus 2x, that's going to give you 3x, plus another x here, plus another 2x, that's going to be x plus 2x, plus another x is going to be 4x, plus 2x is going to be 6x plus 4. Okay, from here on in, it's just solving a linear equation. So we'll move that down and we'll see what we've got. So we've got 38 is equal to 6x plus 4. So that means bring the 4 at the minute. This 4 is adding on the right hand side. If we bring it across to the left hand side, it does the opposite of adding, which is subtracting. So we'll have 38 minus 4 is equal to 6x. And then again, this is a mess. If something's a mess, you tidy it up. That's going to be 34 is equal to 6x. And then what this 6 is doing, its purpose in the world is it's multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. So 34 divided by 6 is equal to x. I'm just going to write that the other way. Mathematicians like to have the x written on the left hand side. And then we can use a wee bit of cancelling down to make life easier for ourselves here. So I'm going to say that is divide top and bottom by 2. The bottom line is easy. Divide it by 2, you get 3. Top line a wee bit more difficult. 34 divided by 2 is 17. And then this is an improper fraction, or a top-heavy fraction. 3 divides into 17 5 whole times with 2 left over. So 5 2/3, and give it the units, centimeters, and that's it done. Okay, 3 part A says find an expression in terms of x for the area of the shape A. So this shape A is this whole sort of L-shaped thing. So we've got to work out what this is. I'm going to do this by splitting this into 2 bits. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a wee horizontal line across here. And I'm going to call that part 1 and part 2. So we'll just say area. Sorry, this is my answer to part A. Area of part 1 is going to be equal to, and this isn't easy, but if you look here, the width of part 1 is x plus 2. The height of part 1 is x plus 1. Area of a rectangle, remember, is length times width, breadth times height, whatever way we want to say it. It's going to be x plus 1 upon x plus 2. Okay, so not easy multiplying these out. I like to use the curly lines. X times x gives you x squared. X times 2 gives you 2x. 1 times x gives you x. And 1 times 2 gives you 2. So again, that's a bit of a mess. If something's a mess, tidy it up. X squared plus 3x plus 2. So you've got your area 1. I'm going to squeeze in here the area 2. Area 2, that says 2, believe it or not, area 2 is equal to this wee height times this wee breadth, or whatever way in a set, width times height, whatever way, doesn't matter, but it's going to be x upon 2x plus 2. And then if you do that out, you're going to get 2x squared plus 2x. Okay, what this question asks is for the total area, so we'll just say total area is going to be equal to those two things added. So we'll just write them out in their long form and add them together and see what we get. So we just about got this squeezed on. That's going to be 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. And I know that is the right answer. Okay, for part B, it says shape B is a rectangle. Shape B has the same area as shape A, and shape B has length of 3x plus 2 centimeters. Find an expression in terms of x for the width of shape B. Okay, we know what shape A is. It is 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. And shape B must have the same area. We'd say shape B is the same thing, but we know its length is 3x plus 2. And its width, we're going to say, is equal to W. Okay, and that's what we need to find. So really, we don't have a great method for this at the minute. We're just going to have to do this by really inspection and see what we get. So just try a few things. If you think about what this could be. If we had 3x plus 2 times our W, and we're going to write our W out as something long. Now think about how we're going to get. You're going to have to do something times something to give you 3x squared plus 5x plus 2, and this thing here is what we're trying to find. Now we're going to pretend that we're going to assume it has an x part and a number part. So we're going to think about each of these terms. So how I would get the 3x squared would be doing 3x times a certain number of x's. So 3x times how many x's is going to give you 3x squared, and it would be just 1x. So this is very difficult if you're struggling with this. I can see why it really is quite difficult. So just go through that again. 3x times x just gives you 3x squared. Okay? How you would get this, we'll forget about this term in the middle, but we'll use it to check at the end and check that we're right. And we're going to look at this term here, the numerical term, the 2. How you would get this numerical 2? Numerical term 2 would be doing the 2 times some number here. So 2 times what number gives you 2, and 2 times plus 1 would give you 2. Okay, what we can do is just check and see if that works. So we're just going to check. So we're just going to do this out properly and see 3x plus 2, sorry, x plus 1. And if you do that out, first thing, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times a 1 is going to be 3x. 2 times the x is going to be 2x. And 2 times the 1 is going to be 2. And if you tidy that up a wee bit, your x terms in the middle can be grouped together to be 5x plus 2. And you can see you're right. So your answer, be careful, remember what we're looking for. This thing was our answer. This is what we're looking for. And that's what we have found over here. So your answer, width is equal to, oh, that's not right. So what was my width? Sorry, my width was the thing that's underlined in red, which was x plus 1, and that's it. Okay, that is very, very difficult. If you've struggled with that, I can see why. I know a lot of very good mathematicians that would struggle with that, so don't be too worried about that one. Okay, question 4 says, a student buys 5 fountain pens for m pence each. Write an expression for the cost of the fountain pens. So for A, we have got cost just equals 5m, and that is it. 5m pence, we'll say. Okay, part B, it says, so he's bought 5 pens each, costs 5m pence, so 5 times m, that's it. The next day he returns, the pens have increased in price by 4 pence each. So the pens now, instead of costing m, they cost m plus 4. I'll put that in a bracket. That's what 1 pen now costs. 1 pen cost m plus 4 pence. Write an expression for the new price of each pen. That's it, we've done it. And that's all it is. Okay, part C, it says he buys 3 fountain pens at this new price, write down an expression for the cost of the 3 pens. Okay, we can see now in this line what 1 pen costs. So 3 pens is going to be 3 upon m plus 4. I would be happy with that as an answer, but you might want to multiply out your bracket and write that as 3m plus 12 pence. Okay, so that was C part 1. C part 2 says the total amount he spends on fountain pens. So he's had a whale of a time buying fountain pens over these few days. So the student buys 5 fountain pens on the first day, and so that was 5m on the first day, and the next day he returns and he bought he bought pens increased, he bought 3 of those, 3 lots of those, sorry, it was 3m plus 12. I'll go through this all again, I've messed this up, and that's it. So in the second day, right, so this was the first day, he had bought 5 pens costing m pence each. The second day he bought 3 pens, but they cost m plus 4, so we worked out the 3 pens cost 3m plus 12, and we add those, you're going to get 8m plus 12. Okay, and yep, that's fine. The last part of this in part D, it says in this one, he actually spent 572 pence in total on the fountain pens. Find the old price and the new price of the pens. So we're going to say 572 is the cost for 8m plus 12. So that was everything that he's bought so far. M, remember, is the old price. So when we work this out to find M, this will be the old price. So 572 minus 12 is equal to 8m. So all I've done here is this plus 12, this adding 12 has come across and it does the opposite, it subtracts. So we just subtract. You're going to get 560 is, 560 is equal to 8m. What this 8 is doing, it is multiplying, it goes across the other side, it divides. So we have 560 over 8 is equal to m. So m is equal to 560 divided by 8, which is just going to be 70 pence. Okay, so squeeze this in on at the end here. The old cost then is 70 pence, and the new cost, remember it said up here, the pence have increased in price by 4 pence. Add 4 on to your 70, you're going to get your new price as 74 pence, and that's it done.